Hello, everybody. I've been reading this new book that Lily got me for Yule called Wild Science and Star Parts by Tristan Gooley. Let me show you this. It's frustrating me and exciting me in equal measure. The way he writes is fantastic. It's a story-driven narrative about his discovery of the natural universe, and I love it. It's incredible, but at the same time, it's annoying as hell because I get caught up in the story and I miss the actual facts. But I've learned a few natural navigation tricks from him that he refers to as just feeling the world. And having read the book, it suddenly clicked with me. And now I think I understand how it works. And one of the ones that he talks about is finding south in the sky. Not north, which most people normally do. And if you know anything about natural navigation, you look to the plough and go off the end and you find the North Star and you know where north is. No. Tristan talks about finding south or seeing south in the sky. Just naturally, organically seeing south. Not seeing a constellation, not seeing markers, nothing. Just seeing direction in the sky. And what's really messed up is I think, hello Loki, I think I got it tonight. I was driving back from the pub on the way to Wooler to go and pick a bottle of wine so that we could sit and have a drink. And as we rounded the corner coming up the bank from Wooler, I saw south in exactly the way that Tristan explains. Hi, James. In exactly the way that Tristan explains, I didn't see the constellation. I just saw south, which blew my mind. Mind, I've been looking for the constellation for a really long time, and Linz can take the piss all she wants. Back when I was at school. I should apologise to any of our viewers. The lighting is going to be terrible throughout this until we go outside, because we're trying to adjust our eyes to low light level to go outside. Once we leave this room, it's going to go dark and we'll keep talking, probably for about a minute, and then we'll close one eye and we'll put a light on and we'll be able to see. And every time we go to look at what we're doing, we'll move the camera and we'll look. Hopefully that's how it's going to work. If not, this video is going to be a bit naff.
We might have to adjust the phone settings for the camera.
I've got no idea how it's going to work. We'll try. It was just literally on the way back from Wooler, I suddenly, exactly as Tristan Gooley explained it, I had this epiphany moment of seeing not a constellation in the sky, but seeing south in the sky. And when I read the book, when I read the chapter regarding it, I went, nah, this is rubbish. There's simply no way that you'll not see the constellation. There's simply no way that you'll go, oh, it's that one, and that you won't see direction first. But he pointed out the patterns, and suddenly I 100% understand what he means. I saw not the constellation, not the arrangement, not the stars. I saw south. And what he says is, it's I can try and find the pattern. Sorry, we're on a selfie stick and it's a little bit dodgy. What I can do is I can try and find the passage, but I don't think it'll benefit anybody apart from to say, it's like breathing. It's like, why would nobody else see this at all? So I suddenly saw an opportunity to grab my good lady wife and say to her, let's go outside while it's clear. And I want to put my newfound, what I think is a newfound skill, although it's probably been there forever. I've spent a lot of time in the hills. And I've always been fairly good in the wild of locating myself via north.
Yeah, I'm
Because
pretty good at north.
I'm really good at north. But south? So for when maybe the plough isn't visible or whatever, I now have two systems.
Yeah.
One via the constellation we're going to look for tonight, which you don't know, but if you know the plough, you should be able to find the south one. And the other one is via the Southern Triangle, which is visible in the summer, but that's another video entirely. What we're going to do is we're going to take a silver expedition compass. These are the ones that you can see the reflection on the phone there. These are the ones that the mountain rescue, that the mountain leaders, that everybody recommend. These are the absolute best compasses on the market. Outside of, like sat phone GPS. We're going to take that outside and see if I can point due south, just based on the star recognition.
What's the current magnetic north adjustment?
4
degrees?
It's between 2 and 4, depending, because
Okay.
it's just moved again and nobody's actually published it.
Okay.
It's if you're going from grid, so from map to magnetic,
Yeah.
you lose a couple of degrees.
Okay.
Grid to mag add, you add a couple of degrees, and if it's mag to grid, so magnetic to grid, you subtract a couple of degrees. What we're going to be doing is looking straight at the star.
Okay.
So it doesn't matter.
Okay.
Because we're going to be looking at natural magnetic,
but
which
for
is
me
what
to
the compass
check
points
it-
to. Yeah,
Okay. Cool.
it's exactly what the compass points to, because
Okay, cool.
stars are
Are
natural.
they tied to the magnetic poles?
Well,
No, they're not going to be. They're going to be separate.
no, but it's going to be damn close.
Yeah.
Because bear in mind, the magnetic poles just shifted, 0.5 of a degree?
Yeah.
Which means that down to
Yeah.
around about 40 degrees of latitude, it's going to have changed a millimetre,
It's
which isn't
gone
even a
towards
degree.
The
It-
east, hasn't it?
It's not even
Yeah.
a degree on the compass. So realistically, in the UK, don't worry about it. It's not going to make a huge difference unless the mountain leader scheme come out and say, move your compass, or the OS come out and say, move your compass. Don't worry about it. We're going to give it a bash and see
It's very cold outside.
if I can walk outside and find...
Oh, are you in a t-shirt? It's freezing.
I spent a lot of today out in the workshop, which was very cold, so I'm currently feeling quite warm. We're going to go outside and see if we can find due south off pure wild signs and star farts from Tristan Gooley. I really hope this works. I'm not sure how good the video for this segment is going to be, which is just as well, because there are like thousands of people watching at the minute. There's literally nobody. I know it's late.
Like, seriously, guys, share the feed.
I know it's late, but I'm not really that fussed, because I will share this video at normal times of the day. The problem with night navigation is you can only do it at night. And if you're ever going for a mountain leaders course or anything like that, and you go do it in the summer, your night navigation happens at like 4 o'clock in the bastard morning, which is not cool. The best time to learn night nav is when the nights are longest, in the winter. And I'm pretty good over ground with the map and compass. Like, I'm a mountain leader. I'm a qualified mountain leader. That means I'm pretty damn good at my navigation with the map and compass. I am absolutely useless at my natural navigation. I mean, yeah, I can find north. Yep, great. Everybody can find north in the sky. You go off the top end of the plough and you run out until you hit the brightest star. That's north. Marvellous. It's not always visible. In fact, very rarely is the North Star actually visible in this country. So to be able to find south and east and west, probably more important. And east and west with Orion are also locatable.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Well, I suppose you can find south.
Ah, damn, I've just told you what constellation we're looking for.
To be fair, though,
I was doing really well.
Take a genius to work out, like, because I know the plough's north generally.
Yeah,
and
true.
when you think what's the other side of the sky,
starts. He rises in the east, so if he's more tipped, you know what? What the hell? I know what I'm looking for.
To go outside.
Let's see if Linz can find it. If he's more tipped over towards the scabbard side, it's closer to east. If he's more tipped over towards the elbow side of his bow draw, it's to the west. And somewhere in that constellation, the setting of the stars points south.
I have the compass, so I will know where
Points
south is.
due south. So what we're going to do is we're going to go outside, and like I say, the video is probably going to go to absolute crap.
Sorry.
Because I'm going to have my right eye, which is my better eye, even with contact lenses, closed, and my left eye open, and a light towards us. What I'm then going to do is pass Lily the phone, which is on a, I can't show you, but it's on an awful selfie stick. And I'm going to step in front of the phone and find Orion, because I slipped and said it's Orion. I'm going to find Orion and then find south. And then I'm going to step back in front of the camera and point in the direction that I think due south is, and we're going to check it on the compass.
Yeah.
And I really, really hope I get it right. Because if I don't, I'm going to look stupid.
Should go outside.
I should probably get a jacket.
You probably should. It's really cold.
We should go outside. I'm going to give you to the wife and see what she thinks about my chances of success while I go and find a jacket.
Go and get a jacket. I think. Well, I don't know. I got him this book by Tristan Gooley for Christmas because, and he'd never heard of it. And to be fair, it's not one that has been widely kind of talked about. But the reviews on it by people within kind of the bushcraft and outdoor industry are exceptional. The reviews are brilliant. So I thought I'll get it from him on an off chance and see what he thinks of it. And apparently it is very good. And we know, I think he's going to do fairly well because where we've done these similar type of things in the past, I might be being over optimistic, but I know when we tested out the Viking Sunstone, which we haven't done a video of yet, but we will do at some point.
I forgot we had that.
When a couple of years ago I bought him a Viking Sunstone, which is an Icelandic spur.
Do I have to learn to use the sunstone again? That was really bad.
We managed to find north within 2 degrees. Which, I mean, we're talking ancient tech, and we did it we were lucky enough to live in a very rural area, so we didn't have buildings distorting things, which can come into play. But when we looked at that kind of ancient tech for finding direction, we found the Viking Sunstone, which is calcite or Icelandic spar, was actually very, very accurate to within 2 degrees. So we know that worked. So
right.
Purely based on that and nothing else, I hold out a lot of hope for this traditional technique as well. So
I really hope. Hang on, let me jump back in there. I've got a jacket now. It's warm. I really hope. Sorry, this isn't like some Napoleon complex. This is me trying desperately to get night vision in my right eye.
To be fair, though, we're very lucky to live in very low light pollution, so we're
It
probably
is.
going to adjust to
I
night
mean, it's
vision
not the
very
darkest
quickly.
place we've ever lived.
It's not far off.
Kielder
I
was.
think this is darker than
No,
Kielder.
Kielder was darker.
I don't think it was.
I could never see light pollution on the horizon in Kielder. Here I can. If I walk out of here, I can tell you where Anik is just on the glow. I
Yeah,
can tell you where Berwick is just on the glow, and I can almost put my finger on Edinburgh. So this isn't some weird sort of captain thing. This is me closing off the light to my dominant eye, 100%. For as long as I possibly can before we go outside, because it takes about 25 minutes to get full night vision off white light.
I don't know. I think we're pretty good up here.
Yeah, but I don't want to look like a dick, so I'm trying my hardest.
Okay.
So, what we're going to do is I'm going to leave the phone, which we're currently filming on. I'm sorry, I wish we had better rigs. If you want us to have a better rig, do us a favour, jump over onto Patreon and chuck us a couple of quid. It'll be absolutely fine. Or, jump over onto our YouTube and like the video over there and subscribe. And, once this is done on here, I'll probably upload it on YouTube. You can watch it on there if you're already watching it on YouTube. Oh, we're on YouTube? I forget now. YouTube. Thank you so much. Hit the subscribe button. Oh, God, I thought we were live on Facebook still.
No, we're on YouTube.
I've only got one working eye. Right, yeah. So jump over to Facebook then. And find us over there, Wildfire Crafts. Follow us on there because we're always putting up new things. We've got some crazy merchandise going up. If you're watching this and you're thinking, you know what, these guys should be euthanized, chuck a couple of quid our way on Patreon. We might consider it.
No, we won't.
We really won't. I don't know. I don't understand this social media thing. I'm really trying very hard.
Just go outside and...
I'm waiting for you to stand up. You are literally sat on my arm. Thank you. Right. Shall we?
Yes. Am I coming out with you? Yeah.
Well, you sort of need to.
Okay, come on.
So I'm going to leave the video in your hands.
Okay.
Because you know how to use the phone much better than I do.
Do we need to switch the camera so it's on front facing? Or?
Well, I don't know that it matters. It's up to you.
I'll do that once we're out there. Okay.
So, what we're going to do is we are going to head outside into the darkness.
Well, out into the darkness.
Bloody hell, cats.
Cats are evil.
We're going to go outside. And I've turned off all the lights, but the security light...
the outdoor light.
Yeah, but the security light will come on.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, this is a perfect night. Don't go off the path there.
Cover your eye, is it?
Yes.
Okay, we're back. Ish.
Right. Oh, hello. Where are we?
We're in the pitch black.
Yep, we are.
And
what I was hoping we could do is... Oh, we can't turn...
You can see one tiny star there.
Oh, we can't turn a flash on, can we?
No.
No. Right.
This is going to turn into a podcast from here on out.
Yes, it is. But what we're going to do is I'm going to look off the back end of the house now and say,
okay.
Have you got the compass?
I have got the compass.
Is it glowing?
Yes, because it's glowing in the dark.
Good. Marvellous. Due south is that way.
I have no idea where you're indicating to.
And I needed to be able to see, because I have to be able to see the bottom end of this constellation I'm looking for. It is...
Okay, I see where you're pointing to.
Yep.
Okay, just for the guys who are, because obviously it is so dark here in rural Northumberland.
For the video, I am pointing to the bottom right-hand corner of our garden.
Gordon is kind of indicating towards the very bottom as we stand at right-hand side of our garden.
This is slightly off right.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Do you want to take this? And I'm going to check.
I certainly can.
Now.
But what I'm going to try and do is flip the camera around and see if...
Now, I
There we
have
go.
north.
I'm going to see if we can just get enough light off the windows. Yeah, it's
Right.
pretty bad. I've said that due south is that way. It's pretty bad on
You
the
know
lights. But Lily's got the compass out.
It's about right.
And you know what?
I would say where I would find south is very slightly to the right of where you would, but I'm not adjusting for magnetic adjustment.
You wouldn't off star anyway.
No.
But you know what?
It's within a couple of them.
I'm going to step back through the flower bed to get the window and see if we can pick up a bit of extra light. Right. Hello, folks. You know what? If I was going to say that due south, just off where I am, and I didn't check this on a compass before, was that way, I wouldn't be far off. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to stand here and pull this in really close so that you get a blurry face and it looks weird and say, Lens, what was it on Orion that gave me that clue?
I would say if I was matching it up to a point that on the compass, I would say I would follow the horizon down off his left foot.
Off his left foot?
Yes.
Right. On that, what we're going to do is we're going to run back round into the house really, really fast and talk you through the process. So, here we go. I'm going to run back through. It's not the most obvious thing that tells you which way you're going. Now, as our neighbours have very friendly dogs that crap absolutely bastard everywhere, before we go back into the house, the first thing we have to do is lose the shoes, especially when we can't see, and then head back in to the light. Oh God, I'm sorry that the last 5 minutes of video has been so abysmally dull if you've been watching it. And it's way more like a podcast than anything else. But
yeah. God, it's cold out there.
My God, look at this. I look like Ragnar on speed.
You always look like that.
Yeah, James, I'm so sorry you couldn't see anything. That's because we couldn't bloody see anything either. It's actually properly dark out there.
To film or to video on this kind of light, or the light that's out there, involves really wide exposure.
You know what it is? Even night vision, and as an ex-squaddy... Well, hang on, let me extend this a little bit so that you can actually see the pair of us. As an ex-squaddy... Sorry, Mum, I know you hate that as a phrase. As an ex-soldier, I can say that filming anything in that sort of light is really damn difficult. Like, night vision doesn't pick up. It only picks up available infrared. And out there at the minute is dark.
Really dark.
So...
I think it was off his left foot, down the horizon.
Did I get it, though?
Let's
not go on where it came from. Let's not go on anything else. Let's go on the really important thing. Was I right?
I reckon you were about...
Was I close enough that if I was walking somewhere, I would be heading south?
Yeah.
Yeah!
Unless you were like on that one bearing with no that point of reference for about 50 or 100 miles.
Yeah.
You'd be fine. Yeah.
And the thing is, the best bit about this, is that it's scalable. It's adjustable. It's... Give me that book. It's amazing. Get this book. Read it. I have learnt so much from this book. And I'm a qualified mountain leader. I've spent half my life up mountains and out in the snow and out in the
We'll edit
forest.
this and put a link in the description.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I was going to go for that anyway, and there'll probably be a link below that you can find this directly, I hope, through Amazon. Because, Amazon actually pay their authors fairly well. And
this is actually through an
if you do follow the link below, it gives me a little kickback, which means that getting up in the middle of the night, running outside and freezing my one remaining testicle off hasn't been entirely wasted. But the thing is,
it's coming out in paperback in the next month, I believe.
Wild Signs and Star Parts has been genuinely a revelation to me.
He's written another 4 books or something as well.
I have just realised how badly exposed the left side of my face is with the light under here. It's probably no bad thing. But like Tristan Gooley, thank you so much, man. Honestly, I knew that I knew things, but I didn't know that I knew things that knew things. I know that sounds daft, but I've seen things since reading this book that I've always seen and wondered why. And this book has linked through and said why I'm seeing the things that I'm seeing. The tick effect in trees, wind shadow, but as is proven right here, right now, you can find south in the sky. Not see a constellation, not see anything, but just see that cardinal direction, which I really didn't understand when he said it, but I looked up on the way back and I saw south.
At least certainly in the northern hemisphere, we're so conditioned as outdoors people to look for north that you don't think to flip it.
And the problem is when you can't see north because it's close to the horizon on one side, nobody knows what to look for on the other. I've never been told in my entire time as a mountain leader what to look for on the southern side. If clouds there, if it clags in, if it goes wrong. And Tristan's book has given me those tools to be a couple of degrees wrong on the first try.
I think it was about 2 degrees off.
On the first try. And I swear to you people.
You still haven't told me what you were actually looking at.
Of course I haven't. I promise to you people, I have never checked where south, north, east, west is from this house ever. It has not been a thing that has bothered me. We get to see the northern lights, and I have never looked except knowing that north is out of the front door and south is out of this wall. That is the closest I've ever come and the closest I've ever cared. North, south, east and west.
Yeah.
That's the closest I've ever come to caring. I know that our house is built more or less on the cross, and that is the biggest shit. Sorry, YouTube, and demonetize me if you want. I don't get it anyway.
Sorry, it wasn't in the first 30 seconds.
I could not give one shit to which way the house is facing, except a south-facing garden apparently is amazing for growing things, so stay tuned for this summer. But I've never checked. I've never sat in the house with a compass. I have in previous houses. When I lived up in Kielder, because I couldn't see the horizon, so I could never get my bearings. But here, I've never checked. I know north, south, east, west.
I mean, we've had the OS out to look
north, south, east, west. Yeah. Because I know the King's Road runs past us, and I know that the King's Road runs east to west. And that north is that way because Scotland, and south is that way because Alnwick. But I have never
checked it out
actually tried to within degrees.
No.
Yes, please, if there's one going.
I don't know where you put your phone.
Oh, it's over there. Oh. I've never actually tried.
By the way, this isn't a glass. This is the God candle holder for my original holder. So yeah, good luck.
Well, it got moved. And I've always had a bit of an ego.
A bit?
Yeah, screw you. But I've never actually tried, or I've never actually cared enough to work out where north and south are.
Not to
exactly. I know they're vaguely that way and vaguely that way. The thing is, from what Tristan actually gave us in his book there, that really isn't good. Sorry, I'm trying to find a place where it doesn't look like the light's killing us. Oh, there's better. I'm new to selfie sticks. Sorry. if you're commenting on the video as well, I'm really sorry. For some reason, they're not coming up. So James, thank you so much for being with us and experiencing this journey. I'll watch it back and I will reply to any comments, or I'll see you at training practice. Practice
Friday?
tomorrow.
Is it
Tomorrow, yep,
Jesus, okay.
for the Historical Combat Company for beating the crap out of each other with swords. Yeah, genuinely, I've never 100% cared where due south was until I read this passage in Tristan's book, and I went, nah, piss off. I've looked at Orion for all my life, because at school, when I was at boarding school, we had a family star. Like I say, Len's gave me a hard time for it.
I didn't give you a hard time. I was just surprised.
Although she has met my father, so it is possibly something. But
I was just surprised. That was all.
you were mildly surprised. Okay, fair dues. But we had a family star, and it was the central one in Orion's belt. Therefore, I have never, from the age of like 9, had a problem with locating Orion, unless I'm in the southern hemisphere, in which case it's impossible.
Yeah, but to be fair, Orion's fairly obvious.
It really is.
Yeah.
So how did I find south? Yeah, look at that dramatic zoom and everything. Within a couple of degrees, if it's easy to find.
I think it was, looking at everything, I think it was off his left foot.
Right, now here's the thing that Tristan says in his book. When you see the signs, and you know what, I don't think this is natural navigation isolated. I think this is literally universal. When you know something, it is the most obvious thing in the world. Am I right? When other people don't know it, you can't understand why they don't get it. But why they don't get it is probably because they've never found the way to actually understand it. And Tristan explains this beautifully in the first chapter of his book. And so I thought, I have to try this out because it was so blindingly obvious to me. So I threw it on to Linz, who is not, she might hit me, but is not a natural outdoors person. Yeah, not anymore.
I'm not a technical outdoors
Not
person.
a technical outdoors person. She loves being outdoors, but...
And I spend a lot of time outdoors.
Sorry, the tripod's wobbling again. Let's do that.
I spend a lot of time outdoors. Like, I'd spend a lot of time in a hammock, just general wild camping, and be quite happy outdoors.
Yeah, but
on technical knowledge, possibly not so much.
So when the sky cleared up, because we've had a lot of snow and a lot of rain up here in the last couple of days, and it's been clagged in awful, and I've been desperate to test this theory that Tristan, well, not theory, there's science that Tristan's come up with, this knowledge, and to see if it actually, if I understood it. And I did. And it seems so painfully simple. And if you think you understand it, anywhere up to the timestamp of 35 minutes and 30 seconds, and you comment below on the video, well done you. Because you're more switched on than the average Joe.
Was it off his left foot then?
So now we'll go to the average Joe and say, no!
It has. Well, what the fuck
He
was it
rises in the east and he sets in the west. If it's off his left foot, how does that constantly point south?
It pivots. He doesn't like travel.
Yeah, but he doesn't pivot across his foot. There is one point.
It's not far off.
Yeah, no. Well, it's not far off, actually, as happens. But there's one point that doesn't move or shift. And I'll tell you what, you hold that. I'll grab the book. And what I'll do is, very carefully, I will show our dedicated single viewer that I really hope is Mr. Hogg, because he'll absolutely love this, to the camera, the page that we are talking about. The problem is, you are not allowed to see this, so you now need to look over in that corner at the jazz wedding thing. Right,
Did Jess? But you mean our beautiful original artwork done by Mr. Hunt?
Yes, I do, but I'm never that nice about Jess. Now, do you see? And that rises in the east, passes through south, goes to west, and there is one point of the constellation constantly points due south through its arc. Now, the interesting thing is, fuck off. If that points south and is closer to the horizon, then you know the top end of the shoulder is east. And if that points south and the bow arm is closer, you know you're looking west. So, feeling any more clever?
No, generally you're shit at describing stuff. So.
Absolutely, but they saw the diagram and you didn't.
Yeah, but Tristan Gooley is better at describing shit than you are. So.
Oh God, yeah. Honestly, Tristan.
What was it?
He's also written the Walker's Guide.
Wait there. Let me.
Tristan, it's beautiful. Your book's amazing. I love it. I love it so much.
The initial was the left foot. The only other thing I can think
left
of is
foot's bollocks.
If you draw a line from shoulder, right shoulder to left hip.
Nope.
Through.
No.
What is it?
Now this relies on seeing the world as we do as modern Westerners, and looking up at the sky and seeing modern constellations of Orion.
Right.
Again, if you got no idea what I'm talking about, read Tristan's book, because and if you haven't seen the possible or the plausible limits of Paleolithic constellations, look at them, because they will mess your head up, because they don't see what we see. But it's the same stars.
What is it then?
Well, it's something that, I don't know, I want you to guess.
Babe, you're drawing this out too much now. Everyone's just tuned off.
I really want you to guess.
I've guessed twice.
No, it's his left foot. It's not. It hangs off his belt.
He's...
Yeah.
Does he sew that point at his left foot?
No.
Doesn't that?
No.
Is it slightly up?
If you look, hang on. Wait. Look, if you look at the actual imagery, that's the wind sense.
Oh, wait.
No, it doesn't. It points almost in between his feet, but not quite.
It's more towards the left, though. Come on.
Not enough. You'd be about 20 degrees off if you take it off a foot.
Yes.
Because through the night, it points to the same place, which is dead centre, whereas the left foot doesn't.
That's clever.
One runs
down,
and way out. If you navigate off the left foot, you'd be totally screwed.
Perfect.
It's when you look
Although
at
I
the
have
stars,
to say, going off the compass, I would go, where does the sword come down? And go a little bit to the left.
for anybody that is used to modern star charts, and we will be doing a video on ancient star charts once I can get my head around them. They actually they disturb me quite a bit. They're very strange. But with modern star charts, if you look up at the constellation of Orion and you find his belt, which is 1, 2, 3 bright stars diagonally across the sky.
Not that bright now.
Yeah, they're bright enough.
They're bright enough.
And then you look down, there are 3 small stars in a straight line just below it, around about a hand's breadth as you look at it, below the 4 fingers below the belt.
I would say they're not that.
They are
They're
here.
like 2.
Okay, maybe they are 2. Yeah, maybe 2 fingers if you're in city centres. But you'll see even a smudge of a line inside this sort of
a very, very faint line.
Here.
Yeah.
Tapers here. 3 stars and a very faint line. That faint line, if you draw the line from that faint line all the way down to the horizon, 100% of the time, once it's visible, will point due south, plus or minus 2 degrees. And
it's not far off, actually, I have to say, thinking back to the compass.
it's incredible.
The thing is, it's hard for us to make calls on the horizon given where we live, because we live in rural North Northumberland. So the horizon is very, very rarely flat. So that's something to bear in mind as well.
But with Orion, it doesn't bloody matter. You go off. If you can see the 3 stars on the scabbard and you run off, where they hit the horizon is south.
Yeah.
But he rises in the east and he sets in the west. So if you're looking and he's more tipped over to one side, you're looking more easterly. And then you see south.
I think you would
if he's almost straight up, you're looking straight south. If he's tipped over the other side, you're looking more west. So not only can you find south, but you can almost find degrees of inclination.
I would say if you followed that sword exactly, you would be heading very slightly south,
east or west.
East.
Depending on which side of the overall though, if you're using that as a broad,
pretty fucking close,
if you're using that as a broad stroke navigation,
it was close.
Which, let's be honest, modern day, we're talking street to street navigation.
If you're using general navigation and natural navigation, you're not going to follow that one point of bearing for 100 miles.
Hell no, of course you're not.
You're going to keep checking it, so certainly would have put you in the right direction.
And that is exactly where Tristan Gooley goes on to next, about wind diagrams and movement and water patterns and everything. There's so much more to navigation than I ever realised as a mountain leader, because as an ML, you're forever looking at a compass and a map.
Yeah.
But every now and then, on my assessment, we were in a valley and they said, "Where are you?" And the guy leading that leg said, "Well, we're here." And I didn't even look at my map. I looked at where he pointed on his map and I went, no, that's not right. We're not there. And I couldn't say for why. I couldn't say exactly a reason that we weren't where he said we were, but it felt wrong. And now, having read Tristan's book, it was the wind, it was the elevation, it was just everything. Everything was unnatural around that movement. Therefore, everything was wrong. Therefore, I said, I don't know, there's this gut feeling that it's wrong. So maybe when we talk about gut feelings, maybe when we talk about a change in the wind, Tristan Gooley, when we talk about just not quite making sense or feeling perfectly aligned or feeling absolutely in tune, maybe there's more to it. Because if I can, with a bit of knowledge, walk outside and almost beat a compass, I don't know, maybe we really need to reevaluate what's important in the world. Maybe having 1 million Instagram followers, by the way, follow me on Instagram. Maybe interpersonal communication is vital. Maybe the sharing of knowledge is critical to who we are as people, because I feel, just even from being able to find south in the sky, I feel 1,000 times better knowing that regardless of what happens, if the sat-nav stops working, if the phones stop working, if the Ordnance Survey maps catch fire, I can still tell where I am. North, south, east, west.
I think it goes back to that very primordial desire to have a sense of place.
Yeah.
Yeah. To know where you are, to know what you can eat, to know what you can't eat, to
But I think
be
now
present
it's
in yourself.
so easy to stand by
Mm.
and to be a passenger in your own life story. To sit back and go, well, I live in the center of a city and I'm in and out and I'm died, and not need to know where you are, but know where you are, if that makes sense. You know your next stop is Bods. You know your next pub, you know your next village, but you don't know where north is. I don't know. I suppose I'm very lucky in that. I've always felt very connected to the world, and I don't need to necessarily work that hard for my sense of direction until I get into a city, and then I am fucked.
Yeah.
Oh, see, in central Newcastle, the minute I'm away from the castle street,
Yeah, you get lost.
I know exactly where I am around the castle in this much space. I'm buggered as soon as I get up to Grays. Monument, forget it. But you can drop me in the middle of the Lake District. And I know where I am within 100 metres. There's something very liberating about that. And I think if you're watching this, and I don't mean right now, James, but if you've stumbled across this video and you've made it this far, firstly, well done. Secondly, I think being able to be part of the environment that you live in, whether it's city centres or natural or, you know, bloody Fairbanks, Alaska and frozen, you you have to understand the world you live in. And so many of us let it pass by. So many of us don't care. So many of us go, well, I can get the number 92 bus from the end of my street. What if that isn't there anymore? What if post-Brexit, let's get political.
Let's not.
Let's really not. But let's say in post-Brexit wasteland, your bus isn't there anymore.
Yeah.
How the hell do you find the way to the nearest armoured combat club? How do you go and beat up your mates? How do you keep going with what you're doing? If you don't know how to navigate without a sat-nav, you're fucked.
To be fair, if it's our mates, they know we have the security codes to all the local castles. So they'll just head to the nearest one.
Yeah, they do. But what I'm saying is, if you haven't already gotten the hint,
It's a very good book. Oh, so you've said. I haven't stole it off you yet.
Yeah, no, it's amazing. Wild Science and Star Parts by Tristan Gooley is absolutely fantastic. We will find a link. It will be down below.
I'll put it in tomorrow morning.
You will be able to get it by clicking straight down there tomorrow. It's an incredible read. It's an
just before
entertaining
Christmas,
read.
and
It's
I
an
believe still
enlightening
now
read.
the hardback copy is on special offer, but they are just about to launch the paperback copy. But I will put links to everything.
Like I say, it's an entertaining read. It's an enlightening read. It's an enriching read. It really is amazing. And what we've demonstrated tonight with Finding South of Orion Sawbill is literally chapter 1, part 2. It's within the first 60 pages. It's everything that happens after that. Every time you see something that you realise you recognise, it just sends a shiver up your spine. It's absolutely incredible. And his writing style is so engaging that you have to cut and come again. If you read the chapter one time, you get the story. But then you have to read it twice more to understand the science behind it, because he is that engaging a writer. So Tristan, thank you so much for creating this book.
I will try and find Tristan Gooley on social media because I haven't been able to locate him yet. So I will do that and then
And
post links and what have you.
yeah, if we do find links, please go follow him. Because
he's a young guy as well. He's not an old guy. He's a fairly young guy.
What he's put out there is genuinely breathtaking.
I need to get you a copy of his book because he's done one on water signs because he actually sailed across the Atlantic single-handed. And he's done one on historical navigation using water and the different signs on water, which for the general populace probably isn't that significant, but if you're a kayaker or you sail, then it's probably very pertinent.
If you're a kayaker, it's where's white, where's bouncy, where's fun. If you're a sea kayaker,
slightly
different. Or if you're a massive, let's not get into politics on sport on this channel, but genuinely, guys, I have been working in the mountains for over half my life, and I've always relied on map and compass. Always. I've never used GPS unless I'm snowboarding, and then I've used transceivers and peeps. But for location, for navigation, for everything, I've always relied on map and compass. I've never gone to digital. I've never gone to GPS. I've never gone to SkiSat. I've never gone to maps on phone because they can fail.
See, I quite like my phone digital.
Yeah, but they can go wrong. They can run out of batteries. They can hit somewhere where it doesn't work. GPS doesn't work 110% of the time. It really doesn't. So, I don't know. I've always got by on map and compass. Always. And that is what the British Mountaineering Council and what the Mountain Leader Training Scheme base themselves on is map and compass. And there is nothing wrong with that. Because if you can read a map and you can read a compass and you can make the two work together, 110% of the time, if you're good, it will be right. And you will find where you're going. You will avoid that sheer drop. You will find the body if you're a mountain rescue operation.
I mean, I'm not a spectacular map reader, but I'm good enough to find where I'm going.
Don't be the first body that is recovered off Reco purely.
No.
Please, God, don't. But Tristan also explains something else in his book, which is he calls fast and slow thought. Fast thought is what happens immediately you see something. Slow thought is the process that happens after that. And if you look at a map and you can't make that happen in slow process, then you, to my mind, and this is purely my view, my vision, my channel, you have no sodding place on a mountain.
James, Combat Camper Wild Hag, we will do a basic, this is how you read a map.
No, James, I see that comment. That's after what I've just said, that's very brave to admit.
Yeah. But I don't think a lot of people actually do.
I will show you how to read a 1 to 25 and a 1 to 50,000 ordnance survey map.
One of the camps, we do a very basic, this is how you
also, to anybody else watching this, if you're in the Northumberland area and you don't know how to read maps, let me know. I'm a qualified mountain leader and I know friends of mine that are in mountain rescue teams. I will come and show you for the price of a beer how to read a damn map.
I think if we put in at Combat Camp or at Wild Hag Camp and a couple of our workshops
from here on,
how to read a map,
every single event we do with Wildfire will have a map reading element there. If that is during the day when we're on the stall and we can book an actual block, or if that is somebody comes up to me and says, I have no idea how to read an OS map, I will teach you. Might cost you. I will teach you, because I would much rather that people knew how to read maps and understood it and then made mistakes and ended up on mountain rescue than went up a hill, didn't have a map, and got into trouble and had to call mountain rescue.
I think the big thing is learning how to recognise landmarks on maps. I think that alone is a...
To be fair, we've already talked for nearly an hour
Yeah.
on star navigation. If we're going into how to navigate on OS,
we could be here for
weeks. That's a 4-month program with a video every night. I mean, are we talking 1 to 50? Are we talking 1 to 25?
I hate 1 to 50.
Yeah, but if you're in an environment...
I can read 1 to 50
yeah, but if you're in an environment like the Alps...
I prefer 1 to 25.
If you're in an environment like the Alps, 1 to 50 is just brown. 1 to 25, sorry, is just brown.
I know.
1 to 50 actually shows you designation of flight.
know.
If you happen to stumble across this video outside of Wild Walks, outside of the crafting, outside of anything, and you go, I have no idea how to read a map. That's it. How to read a map. Please comment below. Own up. Just take a bit of notes and say, I don't
think it's that much to own up to,
No,
because
it
I don't
really
think
isn't.
a lot of people know
It
how
really
to read
isn't.
a general
There's
map.
nothing to be scared of on that.
I think the majority of people nowadays
Comment
don't know
below
how to
and
read
say,
an OS.
I don't know how to read a map. And if you're in the UK and it's Ordnance Survey, I will give you a crash course video link.
Yeah.
And you can jump over to Patreon and you can look at the video for $1 and say, now I know how to read a map.
We'll do 2. We'll do one general one on YouTube and we'll do an extended one on Patreon.
Yeah, but the general one, you'll get lost.
Don't say
No,
that.
I'm just kidding. Honestly, jump over to Patreon and I will show you everything you need to know to look at a 1 to 25 and a 1 to 50 and be able to plot a route and how to work it and how to read a compass over it.
Or more to the point, just how to phone the emergency services if something were to go wrong and let them know where the hell you are.
Exactly.
That's
and grid
a big
references
one.
and otherwise.
Yeah.
That video will probably be live at the back end of March over on Patreon, because we actually have to get up a valley that currently is blocked by snow. But please, guys, if you don't know how to read a map, if it really is genuinely beyond you and you've never read an Ordnance Survey map or whatever it is in your country, let me know in the comments below, and I always check them and I will always respond.
And a brief point, if you ever do find yourself in a mountainous situation, you don't know where the heck you are, you can't give the emergency services any information and you need them, you can text pictures to 112, at which point they will forward them to the local mountain rescue, who will likely be able to look at the pictures and go, I know where they are. So please bear that in mind.
God, yeah. And every time you phone, if you want mountain rescue, phone and ask for the police, then mountain rescue.
Yeah.
Because if you don't get through to mountain rescue, the police will. Every single time.
If your signal is running very
ask for
low,
mountain rescue first.
Yeah, but if not, if your signal's running very low and you can only get texts out, send them to 112, send pictures of where you are, and say mountain rescue. And
Daft thing is 112 will work when there isn't even.
Yeah,
phone
112 will work where there is nothing. You will get it through.
This is building into a very different.
It is.
Video.
We're going into a different.
And we could bang on for another hour, and we already have for one, about ways to minimise your risk up in the hills.
Yeah.
All I can say is, from the point of Wild Walks, please, if you're going out in the hills, don't make yourself a victim. have the knowledge, have the understanding, or at least have the equipment to be able to survive a night on the mountains every time you go out, because 110% of the time accidents can be reduced by people just not getting cold and wearing flip-flops.
Yeah. If you look around and go, I could walk up that in flip-flops, don't. No. No, you can't. You can't. Okay, I'm
Right,
gonna.
you can. And
I'm
I
gonna
have,
tell you now. No.
But please, just
No.
genuinely
Put walking boots on.
Genuinely think
Yeah.
when you get to the summit, you're halfway there. As we shoot this video today, one of the ambassadors for winter climbing in the UK and his partner have passed by falling from a route, and they were damn good.
They were probably the most experienced he could be.
Well, he was the ex-chairman of the Mountain League. I don't want to go into it on the video, but it doesn't matter how good you think you are, the mountains are always going to be better. Mm. If you think you know your navigation, the mountains know better. If you think you know your climbing, the mountains know better. If you think you can afford to slip a little bit, the mountains know better. Do yourself a favour.
Over prepare.
Never go into the God's playground without being 110% ready. Mm. Know where you're going, know why you're going, and be prepared to stay there longer than you have to. After that, well, it's all in the hands of the fates, isn't it?
Should we
get
say
out
goodbye?
There.
Because
experience the hills, experience the mountains. Go out in your back garden.
Yeah, this is
in
the
the
thing.
dark, and try and find south.
Yeah,
See if it works.
Everyone should be able to enjoy the outdoors, but enjoy it on the small scale first, and don't build your knowledge as you go.
Guys, if you're watching this and you go, well, I live in this tiny little bedsit in the absolute backside of Manchester and I can't go out, look out the window, find Orion, find his scabbard, trace it down, have a look, and then tell me, was it close to south? I genuinely love to know if this is something that we can really share, because what Tristan's come up with in his book has blown my mind.
But guys, enjoy the outdoors no matter where you are. We're going to do some more videos on staying safe in the outdoors in the future. But if you can't get outdoors for whatever reason, we're going to be posting up the new Wild Walks video very soon, so you'll be able to enjoy it from Okay, so we'll see you very soon.
And the Wooler Valley has so much to show you that you just can't imagine.